Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, March 1st. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. Jean Atherton, leader of the opposition tonight, welcoming the findings of the Lee-Fisher review of the controversial airport deal. Mrs. Atherton, whose One Bermuda Alliance is speaking out for the first time since the reports released last week, says it serves as a vindication of the former OBA government. However, Mrs. Atherton reacted this way to the heavy criticism leveled on the OBA by Premier David Burt on the terms of the contract, which he said is worded heavily in favor of the Canadians.
I think you have to turn around and you have to look at the Lee-Fisher report, and you have to understand that what it said was that as a PPP partnership, it did the things that it was supposed to do. It didn't increase Bermuda's debt. It had no effect on Bermuda's credit rating. It made sure that we had the headroom to work on other projects, and the return on investment was what we had anticipated, as well as the balance of the risk-reward was consistent with other similar projects. And if you look at what we did or what we're doing, the Bermuda airport is what it needs to be. It's going to improve the working conditions, and it creates jobs. And that is what the Bermuda public wants to have happen.
Premier Burt said the airport deal stands as a stain on the relationship between a government and the people it's meant to serve. Mrs. Atherton profoundly disagrees and criticizes the PLP's reaction to the deal.
Well, let me put it this way, and I'm glad you asked that question, because I just want to make it clear. Even after the agreement was made public to the opposition and the people of Bermuda, even after the Blue Ribbon panel blessed it as something that was going to be beneficial to us, the PLP, now the government, chose to spend thousands of dollars of the people's money to pursue their false narrative of the OBA selling out the country. They stoked the fears of the public, and they were instrumental in creating civil unrest, all about an investment which will be created and make sure that jobs will be there, job opportunities.
Mrs. Atherton reminding people that the report says the numerous jobs were created for Bermudians. And Hamilton Dock Managers Stevedoring Services announcing today they will have no choice but to suspend operations for around 7 days to allow for crucial repairs. The repairs will be carried out by a contractor to the surface of the dock's runway. Warren Jones, the CEO of Polaris Holding Company Limited, which owns Stevedoring, said the time frame of repairs all depends on weather conditions. This temporary shutdown will start on Sunday, March 11th.
We understand the significant impact this will have on the people of Bermuda, and particularly the importers and shippers, and regret the strain this will have on the flow of goods for that week. But the conditions of the dock have degraded to such a level that the risk to our staff is significant. I am left with no alternative to take this position to ensure their safety. I am hopeful that the people of Bermuda understand that human lives are our primary concern. Stevedoring is consistently ranked amongst the most dangerous industries for workers. Fatalities and injuries in the industry have dropped year over year, and that is due to an increased emphasis on understanding, identifying, and mitigating risk. Stevedoring Services Limited prides itself on its safety record and it claims to value record, which for the 9 months of the present fiscal year stands at $18,000 against nearly 35,000 containers and loose cargo, representing less than a 1/50th of a 1% claim rate.
Mr. Jones says he understands that not everyone will be happy with his company's decision. However, he stresses this is a matter of safety for his staff. Well, the Bermuda Weather Service is warning of moderate winds tonight, becoming strong after midnight, with gale force winds starting up late in the morning on Friday. Forecasters point out conditions are expected to rapidly deteriorate Friday afternoon as a cold front begins to pass to the north of the island. However, conditions are expected to settle slightly behind the front, and then gales return early Saturday with showers by the afternoon. More details in our nightly AccuWeather forecast. Stay with us after the break.
Your home, your life, security. Be fire and burglar free. Right from your phone, monitor, control. Lock safes, doors, gates, business, family safe. You're on the go, and that's okay. BSG with you every
Bermuda Security Group, your security, life safety, and monitoring experts. We're with you every step of the way. Bermuda Security Group, BSG.BM.
Philadelphia International Medicine provides international patients with access to a unique network of world-renowned doctors and surgeons that provide personalized medical and surgical care, connecting you to the U.S.'s leading healthcare specialists who are ranked among the best in the world. Healing is possible when you're confident in your healthcare team. To find out more, contact us at physicians@philadelphiamedicine.com or call 1-215-563-4733.
You can count on us.
Fresh certified Angus boneless beef roast. Bottom round, eye round, or chuck. $6.99 per pound. Extra large sweet cantaloupes. Just $3.99 each. Just $2.79 for select varieties of Ragu pasta sauce. Selected varieties of Arm & Hammer laundry detergent. $8.99 for a 75-ounce bottle. Only $1.29 for a 4-row package of 2-ply bathroom tissue. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
Welcome back. It's the final day for government to accept feedback on the public consultation for the proposed sugar tax. The Minister of Health, Kim Wilson, says the aim of the new tax is to reduce the island's $700 million health care bill. It aims to overhaul Bermuda's eating and drinking habits by drastically reducing the amount of sugar we consume. But it's not unopposed, with some small businesses saying their sales will suffer. The Sweet Sack Bakery argues increased taxation on raw sugar food items will result in the increased production costs of all local food establishments. They say it will not just hit businesses, but low-income families. The government is looking to introduce a 75% tax on sugary drinks and some foods.
We do recognize that there are going to be some businesses that will no doubt find some financial losses as a result of this implementation of this tax. However, the bigger picture is what we want to impress upon the public. And again, it's the fact that our healthcare costs are too high, and $700 million a year what we're spending on healthcare. That's over $11,000 a person.
Despite the call for a public consultation, the minister stressed government is definitely going ahead with the tax, though the rate is not yet set.
This is something that has been rolled out in many other jurisdictions to great success. Both the World Health Organization and the Pan American Health Organization, have both indicated that the use of economic tools has been a great deterrent to switching adverse behaviors that people are using that are not necessarily beneficial to their health.
An unknown amount of money raised by the sugar tax will be used to lower taxes on healthy foods. The government also says it will go ahead with an education campaign. Therein lies the question, will that plus an added taxation be enough to change people's habits? Come June, a decision is expected to be made. 25 Bermudians have new jobs today thanks to the Guest Room Attendant Program initiative set up by 3 government ministers, the hospitality industry, and Fairmount Southampton. Mike Sharp tells us more.
The program directly affects housemen and chambermaids who have been trained to interact with guests at a new level. Malika Cartwright, the executive director of the hospitality industry, explained.
Our participants have been taught about standard operating procedures for guest room attendants or housekeepers, guest relations and how to properly make a bed, clean a bathroom, and the importance of the guest room attendant's role, which extends beyond just cleaning and can play a huge part in the property's reputation and overall experience a guest or visitor has on the island.
The manager of Fairmont Southampton, Marie Baranger-Chapoton, said the hotel was glad to play their part for the 25 new employees.
Dear ministers, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fairmont Southampton. We are very proud of this partnership and initiative with the government of Bermuda and the Bermuda Hospitality Institute. It's really a great opportunity for us to assess and develop potential talent. We have a very, very motivated team, very 25 energetic people that are ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to enter the hospitality market. So we are very, very proud of it. Thank you very much to the government of Bermuda and the Bermuda Hospitality Institute to trust us to have this partnership and this strong partnership and opportunity for us.
Education Minister Diallo Rebane, Economic Development and Tourism Minister Jamal Simmons, and the Minister of Social Development and Sport, Michael Weeks, were all on hand to witness that it's more to it than what meets the eye in the hospitality industry. And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
We must apologize to you, our viewers, this evening. Due to a technical problem in New York and bad weather conditions, we are unable to provide you with our regular scheduled programming on ZBM TV 9. Once the matter has been resolved, we will resume with our regular programming. Now let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
We're ramping up into a really nasty weather pattern here over the next few days, but we're at least glad that the BF&M Insurance Group is behind this one, and we are glad to deliver a forecast that will hopefully help you stay prepared here over the next few days for a pretty angry-looking early March storm. Here it is. This has produced flooding, some severe weather in parts of the east. It's going to produce heavy snow into parts of the northeastern U.S. over the next day or two, and this storm system is going to really strengthen just offshore, off the east coast, well to our north and northwest, but it is going to become large enough to really affect us in a significant way. We may see some winds gust to between 50 and 60 knots on a Saturday. So that'll put us into that tropical storm force wind gust category at least. There's a satellite estimate of the rain at this point getting closer, drawing near. We're in the mid to upper 60s, 67 degrees now. Humidity hovering around 70%. Winds southwest 10 to 15 knots, just the beginning of this. It's going to get real windy soon and into the day tomorrow at least. Water temp is unchanged at 71. On the inside, waves are becoming a little more agitated, 2 to 3 feet. Waves are certainly growing on the outside, 7 to 10 feet, and they will be possibly double that size, if not larger, into the middle of this weekend, with these big waves radiating outward, approaching the island from the northeastern side from that storm. Tonight, increasingly windy, some showers, 66. Tomorrow, very windy out there, mostly cloudy and a couple of showers. And between Friday and Saturday, we may have some spotty power outages. There are parts of the world where this would lead to wind damage. We're in a pretty resistant area to wind damage as we face hurricanes every few years. This is not going to be of that magnitude, but it will bring an extended period of time with periods of rain and a strong wind from the northeast and huge waves out there through the weekend. Not a good time for the ocean kayakers by any stretch. Small craft warning for the early part of the forecast, then that is replaced by a gale warning Friday and into the beginning of the weekend. This gale warning is going to be with us for quite some time, most likely, because it's an extended period of time with big waves. High tide 8:07, low tide 2:26 a.m. on Friday morning. Another high tide around 8:30 a.m. Gateway forecast shows snow into Toronto Rain changing to snow in New York, mainly rain in Boston, but they're going to be buffeted by some strong winds and even some coastal flooding there in New England. Atlanta cooler, Miami still warm showers. London is facing some nasty winter weather, and they continue to battle some snowflakes and unseasonably cold air in the British Isles. Elsewhere around the Caribbean, nice day in Jamaica. Maybe that's the place to be. They'll also have some strong winds big waves from the north side through the weekend. But Futurecast really does ramp us up here as we move forward in time into Friday. Look out for this system to strengthen offshore, and we get into trouble out there with these strong winds. And as that moves northeast, we eventually face a wind from the north and eventually northeast. So there it is, wind and rain, cooler as well for the next 4 or 5 days. Be safe out there. We will make it through, but it's going to be a wet and windy time.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour program is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits program. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, now they're looking forwards and actually looking where they're going because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
All my life is changing every day, in every possible way. Then I open up and see the person falling here is me. 'Cause you're a dream to me.
Made with care, handled with care, delivered with care. That's what dreams are made of.
I got these for seasickness last week, and they're terrible.
That's strange.
I know. I put one behind each ear like you're supposed to, and nothing happened.
These are tablets. You're meant to take them with water.
I got this pump for my asthma. Hasn't changed anything.
Show me how you're using it. It's an inhaler. You're meant to breathe it in.
Well, this toothpaste? Definitely off.
It's a hemorrhoid cream.
Well, that explains why my gums are shrinking.
Turning to business news, U.S. President Donald Trump is bringing back tariffs, and that could spell trouble here in Bermuda. Tony Waterman has your business rundown.
Protectionism is back in force in the United States. President Donald Trump says he's slapping stiff tariffs on steel and aluminum imports in a move which he believes will level the playing field after years of abuse.
We weren't treated, and we haven't been treated fairly by other countries. But I don't blame the other countries. When I was in China, I said, listen, President Xi, I have a lot of respect for President Xi. I said, I don't blame you. If you're able to get away with making almost $500 billion a year off of our country, how could I blame you? Somebody agreed to these deals.
Starting next week, a 25% duty will hit steel imports, while aluminum will be paying 10%. The president was short on details, and it's unclear whether certain countries or products will be exempt. Bermuda imports steel via the U.S. for construction projects, and in a worst-case scenario, the tax could be passed along to companies on island. News of the tariffs sent Wall Street slipping. The sell-off was exacerbated by comments from new Fed chief Jerome Powell. In a second round of congressional hearings, he said he considered 4 interest rate hikes this year to be gradual. That's the strongest indication yet that the U.S. Fed could raise rates at a faster than expected pace. Bermuda's interest rates are linked to the U.S., so as they go up, borrowing costs on island will too. And if you are planning a summer trip, you'll be pleased with this next story. British Airways is offering a 25% discount on round-trip flights from Bermuda to London. The deal applies applies to World Traveler Fairs, but it does come with a few caveats. You have to stay for at least a week and travel between May of 2018 and mid-February of next year. Seats are limited, and the offer ends on March 14th. Tony Waterman for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And here's Earl Baston with tonight's sports.
Bermuda went down by 62 runs in their second ICC Americas Regional 2020 match against Cayman Islands yesterday. Cayman Islands batted first and scored 165 for 5 in their allotted 20 overs, with Kamal Lavrock, Bermuda's most economical bowler, with figures of 4 overs, 1 for 14. In reply, Bermuda were bowled out for 103, falling 62 runs short of their target. Lavrock and Gennaro Tucker were the top scorers, both scoring 22. Tucker faced 19 balls, hitting 2 fours and a 6, while Lavrock faced 18 balls, hitting 3 fours.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
The Bermuda Squash Open continued with quarterfinal action in both men and ladies taking place at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club last evening. Bermuda's 2 professionals bowed out of the tournament on the night of high-quality squash. Noah Brown went down to the tournament's number 1 seed, Angus Gilliams, from England in a 4-set battle, 11-7, 11-7, 5-11, 11-4. Michael Franklin went down to the number 2 seed, Nick Morales, also from England, in straight games, 11-2, 11-7, 14-12. The director of squash, Patrick Foster, summed up Brown and Franklin's performances this way.
Noah up first played our number 1 seed, Angus Gillams, and I mean, he really did take it to him. Like, for anyone who was lucky enough to be here in that crowd of screaming Bermudians, bring their man on, it was impressive. I mean, he really jumped up and showed what he can do, and it was tight, you know. I mean, he won that. He was 2-love down, but it was tight. Took that 3rd set, and then it was nip and tuck in the 4th, and I really, at moments there, thought, my goodness, he's going to do this. He's going to come through. So, yeah, it bodes really well for the future, I think, for Noah, definitely. And then, obviously, following him on was young Micah Franklin, who had done really well. His first-round match was tough. He beat the Nigerian number 1, and that was a really hard-fought battle. He managed to get off 3-love, which was very, very impressive. And of course, then he was up against another Englishman, our number 2 seed out of Murrells. And I guess it was a different type of battle. It was more measured. It was possibly a slower start for Micah than he would have wanted. But for the way it finished, the 3rd set going to a tie break and 14-12 was just at times breathtaking. I mean, the retrieval of both players, but in particular, Micah's speed and agility around the court was a new level. Really, I think that's our new bar now for Bermuda squash. These 2 boys are pushing it up and taking it up to the next level, which is great to see.
21 goals were scored as the Bermuda Bowl Hockey League season resumed at the PCC Hockey Rink. In the opener, the Vancouver Canucks defeated the Edmonton Oilers 5-1. The Vancouver Canucks would get 2 goals apiece off the sticks of Nathan Kalowski and Ross Ruffinage, while Christopher Jackson added the other. Adam Mattol would score the lone goal for the Edmonton Oilers. In the nightcap, the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Calgary Flames 10-5. The St. George's Cricket Club held their annual general meeting at the club with Neil Painter Jr. returning as president, while Michel Painter has returned as the club's vice president. Bermuda Basketball Association's Winter League, sponsored by One, saw yet another doubleheader take place inside the Summersfield Academy Gymnasium, where 256 points were scored last night. After a slow start, the Devonshire Chargers would defeat the Hamilton City Twisters 75-45. The Devonshire Chargers were led by Kevin Stevens, who scored 23 points. He had 3 rebounds and 6 assists, while Stevie Brown Darrell scored 14 points for the Hamilton City Twisters. He also added 2 rebounds and 3 steals. Game 2 saw the Paget Flyboys defeat the Warwick Rimrockers 71-65. Janai Butterfield Steed has signed for Brackley Town. Brackley Town are a football club in Northamptonshire in England. They are currently members of the National League North, which is the 6th tier of English football. Butterfield Steed tells us about the journey thus far.
The journey has been hard, trying to get here. It's been a long process. I've been at Ilkeston for the last 3 years, trying to push the first team, training the first team every week, but didn't really get a chance. And then I moved back home to Northampton, trying to just playing for different teams, and then my personal trainer contacted me and said I can go for a trial over at Brackley. So I've just been training them for the last week or two, and then the gaffer came to me and said they'd like to sign me.
Mixed majors bowling league action inside the Warwick Lanes that saw the Untouchables defeat the Warriors 13-7, fight back, and the Unpredictable drew 10-10. The Activators fell 12-8 to the Mix-Ups, while the Troublemakers went down 17-3 to Spare Change. Movers and Shakers went down 13-7 to the Minimax Forwarders.
Tonight's sports has been brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
I'm Michaela and this is Taking Off. Did you know that every year representatives from Skyport and the Bermuda Tourism and Airport Authorities travel to global airline conferences to promote Bermuda? It's all about air service development, i.e. getting new airlines to offer new routes to Bermuda to bring even more people to our beautiful island. The latest one was Routes Americas, held in Quito, Ecuador. The conferences are held in Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas with a focus entirely on aviation route development. Here we get in front of the right people armed with the right statistics to show why more airlines should fly more flights to Bermuda. These sales pitches are sort of like planting seeds. Through hard work, they can often lead to more fruitful discussions later and eventually a new flight. And for those flights to do well, we need bums in seats. That's why the BTA and government are such important partners. Ultimately, for Bermuda to be successful, we need to generate more passengers and more revenue for our airport. And one of the obvious ways to do this is through air service development. See you next time.
You can count on us.
Extra large tomatoes, just $2.49 per pound. Value packed fresh Purdue chicken thighs or drumsticks, only $1.99 per pound. Large imported white eggs, just $2.50 per dozen. Minute Maid premium orange juice, just $2.99 per select varieties of 59-ounce cartons. Save $1.26 on Lay's potato chips, $2.99 for a 6.5-ounce bag. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
Are you required to take one or more medications daily but have a hard time remembering when to take them? Does your family fear you may end up in the hospital because you often forget to take your meds? Or are you a caregiver looking for a time management tool designed to make your medication routine effortless? The Phoenix stores can help. With an MDS blister pack, a multi-dose packaging system that makes it easier to manage and take your medication. Each MDS blister pack contains medications for the week and is pre-packed, sealed, and labeled by a pharmacist. Prescriptions grouped by the day and the time of day you should take them, whether at breakfast, lunch, dinner, or bedtime. Plus, to ensure you're covered, each pack includes detailed, personalized instruction. Take confidence in knowing you're using your medications as the doctor planned. Visit the Phoenix stores to chat with the pharmacist and get your MDS blister pack today. The Phoenix stores, for a better life.
The National Trust's annual auction and jumble sale got underway today, with the Trust hoping to collect tens of thousands of dollars for its coffers. Some items are already for sale at the Botanical Gardens, but the pick of the antiques will be auctioned off on Saturday. Hal Davis went in search of a bargain.
From 18th century Bermuda chests valued at thousands of dollars each to books at 5 for $1. The National Trust's auction and jumble sale sees hundreds of bargain hunters and antique lovers descend on the Botanical Gardens every year, with something for everyone. Some people are just looking to see what's available now at the jumble sale that runs today and Friday.
I have a passion for antiques. I have a small selection of antiques. I have found some drapes here that I really like. I would say something's my passion. When I go to a place like this, I look at everything, from the smallest item to paintings and furniture. So it was a marvelous experience for me.
But some collectors are eagerly awaiting the second part of the sale, Saturday's auction, with a host of items that have a link to Bermuda.
They're called the Gleason dolls, and they're made by a lady named Marie Gleason from, I think it was in St. George's, Featherbed Alley in St. George's, and they're all made from banana leaves, and I now collect them. I have about 8 of them, and after Saturday I'll probably have 10.
Among the highlights, including this antique bed and the 2 Bermuda chests, is a sterling silver tea urn from 1890. So how much does the Trust make from the sale of these largely donated goods?
It ranges from $20,000 up to
50,000. The reputation of the auction has improved over the years, so we hope for good results.
The proceeds of the sale will help fund National Trust activities. So if you're looking for a treasure for a loved one, be it a ring for your better half, a bowl for your prized pooch, or a toy for your tot, you have the added satisfaction of knowing your cash will be going to a good cause. Howell Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And that's our broadcast for this evening. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.